Hello and welcome. You are watching News9 Live. I'm Krishna Kumar and I'm being joined by my colleague Varghese Abraham in the studio. And at this hour, we are analyzing the outreach of the Congress party to the Christian community in the southern Indian state of Kerala. The Congress party leadership in Kerala has started a new initiative, and that is to renew their ties with the Christian community in the state. And this comes after rival BJP announced the outreach program to woo the Christian voters of Kerala. Recently, the BJP had announced the Sneha Yatra on Easter Sunday, while the party extended invitations to the Christian community to visit Hindu homes on Vishu Day, or the day of the New Year celebrations of the Hindu community in Kerala. Now, Kerala Pradesh Congress Committee, or KPCC Chief K Sudhakaran, visited Thalassery Archbishop Joseph Pamplany's house on Saturday evening, which was the day of the Vishu festivities in Kerala. Sudhakaran met Archbishop Joseph Pamplany and said that the Christians were traditional voters of the Congress party and that there is no change in that. Let's first listen to what Sudhakaran had to say.
ഞങ്ങൾക്കൊരു ആശങ്കയുമില്ല. അവർക്ക് ആരെ കാണാനും അവർക്ക് അവകാശവും അധികാരമുണ്ട്. നമ്മുടെ ജനാധിപത്യ സംവിധാനത്തിൽ, നമ്മുടെ മതേതര സംവിധാനത്തിൽ ആർക്കാരെയും കാണാനും സംസാരിക്കാനും ആശയവിനിമയം നടത്താനുമുള്ള അധികാരങ്ങളും അവകാശങ്ങളും നിലനിൽക്കുന്ന ലോകത്തിലെ അപൂർവ രാജ്യത്തിലൊന്നാണ് ഇന്ത്യ. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഇവിടെ അങ്ങനെ ഒരു മുഖാമുഖം കാണാൻ പോകുന്നു, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സന്ദർശിക്കുന്നു, സംഭാഷണം നടത്തുന്നു എന്നതൊന്നും നമ്മളിൽ ഒരാശങ്കയും ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്ന ഘടകമല്ല. നമുക്കറിയാം, നമ്മുടെ കേരളത്തെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം ഇവിടുത്തെ ക്രിസ്ത്യാനി വിഭാഗം എന്നും കോൺഗ്രസോടൊപ്പം പാരമ്പര്യമായി നിന്നവരാണ്. സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യ കാലഘട്ടങ്ങൾ മുതൽ ഇന്ന് വരെ കോൺഗ്രസിനെ കൈവിട്ട ഒരു രാഷ്ട്രീയ സാഹചര്യം കേരളത്തിൽ ഉണ്ടായിട്ടില്ല.
Now, K Sudhakaran of the Congress party has been visiting some bigwigs of the church in Kerala, and that includes the Archbishop, the Thalassery Archbishop Joseph Pamplany, and so also the Major Archbishop George Alanjeri, and also the head of the Siro-Malabar Eparchy of Thalassery, which is Remgios International as well. So, let me just first take this across to Varghese Abraham, my colleague in the studio, who understands the subject very, very well. Varghese, talk to us. I'm talking about like some of the big names as far as the hierarchy of the church is concerned in Kerala. And this kind of an outreach, you know, in a sense, it is a knee-jerk reaction to what the BJP has been up to in Kerala.
Well, it's been a knee-jerk reaction, yes, but it was also the fact that though Sudhakaran claims that there is no anxiety about it, there is anxiety among the UDF as well as the LDF. Now, the LDF probably they are a little less worried because they have a constituent called the Kerala Congress within the Left Democratic Front, which tends to represent the Christian vote in the LDF. But still, when it comes to the Congress, they don't have a constituent like that. They have a Kerala Congress which has hardly 4 MLAs, I think, right now. So they are yet to make that reach, and when both the LDF and the UDF had taken the Kerala Christian community for granted. That is what most of the bishops from across the denomination say. And over the years, there has been what they think is kind of a neglect. That's why, interestingly, when Pamplany comes, instead of directly telling the state government that you raise the prices of rubber or other commodities like ginger and pepper, he said that we will vote for the party that will do it, and was hinting at the possibility of getting a BJP MP from that place, right. which is something, because Pamplany was actually fighting for the cash crop farmers in the Wayanad region, and he was also speaking about those mostly from the Siro-Malabar Church. So that has shaken, and plus the outreach program by the BJP, because BJP has also realized that if you look at the entire population demographics in Kerala, 50% of them are minority votes, and Christians form around 18 point some percentage, and the Muslims, of course, somewhere between 25 to 26%.
Wait, at this stage, I want to ask, if it's 18%, those, you know, affiliated with the Siro-Malabar Catholic Church, you know, what percentage would they constitute?
See, there are at least 61 lakhs when it comes to the Sirumalabar Church, and they're spread across Kerala. They have a major archbishopric from Ernakulam, and then several other archbishoprics which are like, their territory of governance when it comes to their religious matters, and they are spread over huge areas. And it is a very powerful and it's a very
now, if I were to put a number
church.
of the 18% of Christians
They form
in
the
Kerala.
majority. They form probably, out of the 18%, they form at least 70% of the Christians in Kerala.
Wow, that's a big number.
That's a huge number.
That's a huge number. We have Mr. George Kallivayalli, senior journalist, and Anand Kochukudi, political commentator, now joining us live on this broadcast. Thank you both of you gentlemen for being with us. Let me first take us across to George Kallivayalli, who's been patiently waiting with us. Talk to us, sir. In the Siro-Malabar Catholic Church alone constitutes around 70% of the Christians of Kerala, and we've seen both the BJP and the Congress party, very, very forward in their outreach to the community, to the particular church. They've met, there has been outreach on different ways. Congress party Sudhakaran now meeting the bigwigs of the Siro-Malabar Catholic Church, starting with the major Archbishop George Alanjeri, and then the Thalassery Archbishop, and also the head of the Siro-Malabar Catholic Eparchy of Thalassery. Talk to us, how do you read this?
Krishnamar, before going into that question directly, I will answer one. And the thing is that, the Syrian Catholics, or the Catholic Church may be 70%. That includes 3 denominations like Latin Church, Syro-Malabar Church, and Syro-Malankara Church. Among them, Latins and Syro-Malabar are the biggest numbers. Syro-Malabar Church has got about 50+ lakh people in the community, and the Latin Church also has almost the same. But the other one is very, very nominal. All other churches, there are hundreds of other churches, all Orthodox Church, Jacobite Church, Marthoma Church, so many other Pentecostal churches, so many others are there. But majority is Catholic Church. Out of that, this Siro-Malabar Church is holding a major power hold earlier in the Kerala politics. Now they are split into all categories, like some are with UDF, some are with LDF. That means some are with CPM, some are with Congress. Some are now deviating from both of these groups, and joining or showing some friendship with even BJP. That means, as our friend rightly pointed out, that there is a clear dissatisfaction among the church goers and among the church leaders, like Major Archbishop Cardinal Mar George Alanjeri, or as you said, the Bishop Thalassery Bishop Archbishop Joseph Pamplany, or other bishops, Ramajios, Injananil you were mentioning. They are all very powerful in their areas, their region. Now, the thing is that BJP is trying their best. They are meeting every bishop, every leader of BJP is going there right now. Just 2 days ago, the Minister for Minority Affairs was there in Kerala and meeting all these Syro-Malabar bishops. I don't know why they are not meeting the other guys. But this is a clear plan for BJP. Now Congress smelt the danger. Now KPCC president has gone to the bishops. But the issue is that opposition leader in Kerala, Mr. V.D. Sadishan, there is a clash between him and the church leadership. He refused to meet the even the church leadership or the NSS Nair leadership or other leaderships. Now he also is changing a little bit, so that elections are coming very, very close. And they have to adjust, and the Congress now feels that there is a
elections change a lot of things. Clearly, elections change a lot of things.
And the other Catholic Church and the other Christian groups also.
The question I want to ask at the stage, and let me take this across to Mr. Anand Kochukudi as well. Elections are a factor for sure to read and understand what is going on with this outreach with both the Congress and the BJP to the Christian voters of Kerala. The other thing I want to understand is that even within the Congress party in Kerala, there is the tendency for the Christian community to feel that the Muslim community gets the upper hand in the Congress party. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, that's a recent phenomenon. That is because the Kerala Congress, which is actually a church-backed party. When I say church-backed, it means the Syro Malabar Church-backed. So the Kerala Congress, that has been split into two factions. The stronger faction is with the LDF today, and the weaker faction is with the UDF. And because of the splintering of the Kerala Congress, the Muslim League has got a lot of upper hand in the UDF. And the Congress itself has been faring very poorly in the last couple of elections. They got 22 in 2016, 22 seats, the Congress, and the Muslim League got 18. So that, only 4 seats separated them. When it came to the 2021 election, the Congress was down by again 1 seat, 21. And the Muslim League was also down, but that is a kind of seats separating these two parties. The splinter faction in the UDF, Kerala Congress, they got 2 seats this time. When the Kerala Congress, Jose K. Mani faction was also there, when the party was united, even then the party did not have too many seats. They had 6 seats. The Kerala Congress has been much weakened in the recent times, and it's not just a very recent phenomenon. It's been happening over the years because the party kept splitting. That party was backed by the church, the Syro Malabar Church, and K. M. Mani, the senior most patriarch of that party, was alive till about 2019, 2020. So till he was alive, the UDF always used to manage their, he was a bridge between the Congress and the church. He acted as a mediator, he acted as a bridge. He was the one who always handled the church. Now the UDF has lost that ally. K. M. Mani sir, he's referred to as K. M. Mani sir, and not just K. M. Mani. By all the, it's not just the Congress people, but everybody used to address him that way. So he is no more there. And because of that, the Congress has lost their connection with the church. So there are no Congress leaders who are liaising with the church in recent times. It's not just about V.D. Sadishan or K Sudhakaran. The Congress is not talking with the church, speaking with the church. That is what has happened. K.V. Thomas is a recent example. He was the one who managed the Latin church till recently. He was with the Congress, he was managing the Latin church for them, but he has since defected to the LDF. So it was actually V.D. Sadishan himself who was instrumental in K.V. Thomas leaving the UDF. What they did not anticipate is this kind of a situation where they don't have any contact person with the, somebody acting as a mediator. So now they are having to, go and meet the bishops in this haphazard manner because they lost that access. They were the ones who always had that umbilical cord connection with the church. But that has been lost. Not just the Syro Malabar Church, the Latin Church and other churches. The LDF first managed to get the smaller denominations, the Jacobite Church, the Orthodox Church, the Marthoma Church. Some of them did not prove to be very receptive to the LDF, but they somehow managed, one way or the other.
At this stage, I want to understand if that's been the case, with the BJP's outreach, the Sneha Yatra on Easter Sunday, and also the BJP making the Christian community visit Hindu homes in Kerala. Do you think that there is a chance that the loss of access to the Congress party is going to be a gain of access to the BJP in Kerala?
See, it's not a straightforward equation like that. What I see as an advantage for the BJP is the growing Islamophobia within the Christian community in Kerala. This is mostly seen in the central Kerala belt, in Pathanamthitta, Kottayam, Idukki districts, where the Syro Malabar Church has some prominence. They are the prominent church there. So these people, they have been, the Islamophobia is growing to such an extent that they openly speak against Muslims. This was never seen. Even Mr. Kallivalil, George Kallivalil is here. He is the associate editor of Deepika, which is the mouthpiece of the Syro Malabar Church. So that newspaper, which has a huge legacy, it is the first Malayalam newspaper in Kerala. Now that church is openly backing it seemed to be backing the BJP. So that says a lot.
Right.
If
Let's then
if
take
you
this
can
across to
have
George Kallivalli then. Mr. George Kallivalli, is the Syro-Malabar Catholic Church of Kerala openly backing the BJP at this stage, as Anand Kochukudi is telling us?
Anand Kochukudi is a very good friend. His analysis are very good, but I categorically deny that. And there is very little chance, very, very little chance. Not even a 5% of Catholics will go and vote for BJP in the next elections. After that, nothing. But there is a resentment in there. There is a growing Islamophobia there. I fully agree to that. Major issue is that even among Congress, there is no tall leader among the Catholics in the Congress party. And all Christians who join BJP are sidelined. And all those, because of Kerala Congress Mani group, led by Mr. Jose K. Mani, son of K.M. Mani, sir, the patriarch of Kerala Congress, who was the tallest leader in Kerala, especially he was a big bridge for all Christian churches. Now he is no more and nobody to replace him. That is a big vacuum there. That creates some issues there. Otherwise, no, the issue major is basically Christians feel that they are sidelined. All the majority of Christians are farmers. All farm goods are, their farmers are in real distress. That is a major issue. That creates some, people will say that Christian Catholic Church is going to, or Syro-Malabar Church is going to BJP. No. As of now, there is no decision, or even the majority of Christians or Syro-Malabar Catholics are still not accepted BJP as an option. But there is a chance in the long run.
All right. Let me take this back to in the studio with my colleague Varghese Abraham, who's also from the community in Kerala and also a colleague and a dear friend. Talk to us, like the way it sounds right now, the Syro-Malabar Catholic Church and the Syrian Christian community in Kerala is equidistant from both the BJP and the Congress party at this stage.
Well, that is the most convenient answer that most of these archbishops have been giving. To be very honest with you, if you look
are
at
they close to the LDF?
For example, no, they are not talking about being close to anyone. I'll tell you how it is. Recently, the Orthodox head Matthews III, Mathuma Matthews III, went and met the Prime Minister in Delhi, and they had a chat. And when he came and said, "We have not spoken anything political. We just came to play and give our, speak with the Prime Minister since I was in Delhi." You have a bishop from the same church saying that, we are not averse to the BJP. So there is a larger messaging and there is a smaller messaging that is going on. So when Mar Julius said that we are not averse to the fact that we can go ahead and probably explore the BJP, it broke a whole set of issues within the community. Now over here, as in fact George Kallivalli will be saying, there is an element of Islamophobia that is there. And interestingly enough, it all started, as I have been looking at how Deepika had put out that story also, it all started with a marriage advertisement. I think George Kallivalli will know about it, which came in one of the papers. It was about a daughter from their church being married to a Muslim man and blessed by a bishop. It became a huge controversy. From there onwards, this Islamophobia had taken levels. As we know about love jihad, we had narcotic jihad being talked, land jihad being talking about, and most of them came from the church's clergy. And the clergy had openly gone out and said that it was, I forgot the name of the bishop who made that statement. The bishop went and said that it is my fault that I was not able to convince you, the lady who had married into a Muslim family, that I am not able to convince you that you should stay back in this, and it is my fault, I take this blame. This was openly said in a retreat. So there is an issue about identity being under threat. And when this identity of the community is being threatened, and it is not only the Syro-Malabar Church, it is across all the three rites of the Catholic Church, the Oriental Orthodox churches like Jacobite as well as the Orthodox and then the Marthamites, and there are hundreds of Pentecostal churches also. The kind of problem that we are finding over there is an assertion of the Christian identity as well as the Muslim identity, and they are clashing online. Both of them are, taking their theological perspective. Some used to do it openly, some are clashing on the online platforms, and they're trying to say each other is wrong. But there is, anyway, that is another debate altogether. But there is politics in it. And the politics of it is that the Christian community in Kerala feel neglected too much. And as I said, the issue also was there when it came to the Education Secretariat being moved to Malappuram. And Uman Chandi came under a whole lot of pressure over it. And there were statements that were being made by the Catholic bishops then itself. So it is not something that all of a sudden that the church started to explore the BJP.
So it's been going on
It has
for a while.
been going on. And now at the last minute, if you're trying to, say before 2024 elections, there's a reason for it that Sudhakaran is also worried. 19 MPs from Kerala from the Congress. So if Congress has 56 to 57 MPs today in the parliament, 19 of them are from Kerala. One is from the LDF. So Sudhakaran wants to get that 20 out of 20 also from Kerala for the 2024 elections.
Okay, Mr. Anand Kochukudi, so let's bring this back to more immediate concerns, which is the elections on hand. From that perspective, it's $1 million question to ask, which way will the members of the Syro-Malabar Catholic Church will vote and the Christian community of Kerala will vote. But tell us, with Sudhakaran's moves to reach out to the Christian community, how do you think, which way do you think the wind is blowing?
The Sudhakaran's outreach is one thing, but the Syrian Christian community, and not just the Catholics, I think their vote will be dictated by what they imagine is to be the situation. For example, in 2019, how did the Congress get 19 seats? It's not just because of Rahul Gandhi coming to Wayanad and contesting. It's also because of Sabrimala, and that was in South Kerala. But they still managed 19 seats. 19 seats out of 20 is a huge number. And that was primarily because they expected Rahul Gandhi to become the Prime Minister. So they assumed that they are voting for the Prime Minister, and Kerala has to give the maximum number of seats to Congress. So in the next 1 year, the Karnataka election, the Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh elections would determine where Congress would stand. So if in case Congress still seems like an opposition, if it still seems like Congress has a chance to defeat the BJP, then the Christians are instinctive voters of Congress and not the BJP. So the Christians will give one more chance to the Congress if it comes to that. But in case the Congress looks very weak, then the votes can get split. This would be very different when it comes to the assembly elections. The assembly election voting choices are dictated by the choices are completely different. But in the Lok Sabha elections, Congress still has an upper hand, and it has nothing to do with Sudhakaran's outreach. Sudhakaran's outreach is, it's a bit comical, for me, because he came out and spoke against K Joseph, who is a veteran Congress leader and right-hand man of Uman Chandi, who is probably the only person who is listening with the church in recent times. So Congress is not able to manage the situation, but the voters, the Syrian Christian voters, Syro-Malabar Church, the clergy might say something, but the voters would still vote for the Congress in 2024 is what I think. But their voting choices might be completely different after that election in 2026.
Right, Mr. George Kallivalli, one is that, would you agree with that assessment by Mr. Anand Kochukudi? And the other is that, tell us in terms of the community per se, is there, I had my colleague Varghese Abraham talk about that need to assert their identity at the stage, and that feeling of neglect per se. From there to, there was a time when, in a party like the BJP would have been a complete pariah, untouchable. But then from there to now, the ties, have thawed completely, haven't they?
Krishnamar, as Varghese and Anand said, I partly, there are some truth in it, but not exactly that. This, what Varghese was telling about one marriage, that was a controversy, but that became a controversy just because of the growing feeling that all the minority rights are taken away by only one community, and Christians are neglected. That feeling came from the 80-20 reservation policy of the state government. All the minority reservation, out of the 100%, 80% were reserved to Muslims, and 20% only were given to, not according to the numbers. That created a huge issue among and there are so many others, like the fifth minister for Muslim League, so many other things. But there are other controversies also. And then later, Pala Bishop Mar Joseph Kallarangat made a statement inside a Catholic church, inside his own territory, and made a statement on love jihad and drug mafia. But that was made into a huge controversy by some of Congress people even. Now the issue is that there is no tall leader in Congress. Only there are 3 MPs from the Catholic Church, one Anto Anthony, one Dean Kuriakos, and Haibi, and maybe one MLA who can, 1 or 2 MLAs, like Rogie M. John and Steve Joseph. There is no major top leaders in Congress to represent the Catholic community or to talk for these farmers and the Syrian Christians in Kerala. That's a huge issue for Congress. Now, CPM, there is the Kerala Congress Mani group, led by Jose K. Mani. He is with the LDF right now.
Right, we seem to have lost that. Right, we seem to have lost that connection with Mr. George Kallivalli. Let me just take this back to my colleague Verghese Abraham in the studio first, and then to Mr. Anand Kochukudi, who still continues to be with us. Verghese, at this stage, the only question to ask is, what exactly is the situation that the Syrian Christian community finds itself in Kerala? When you have these 2 national parties vying for your attention, and you yourself have been feeling neglected for the last 2 decades, and there are hardcore issues like the minimum support price for rubber and spices. No, these are living issues, roti kapda makan issues that you're talking about for the Syrian Christian community across Kerala, and they are a significant voter base who can influence the final outcome in the state. So in that sense, do you think this is the moment that they're choosing to get what they have not been getting for the last 2 decades?
Well, it's very difficult to say that whether they will vote as a, united electorate when I say that. Because one is there's divisions among the Syrian Christians, and they have their own political leanings, and they have their own loyalty to different fronts like the UDF. Some are there in the BJP as well. And keeping all that in mind, I mean, it's very difficult to actually come across this community voting as a united bloc. Right now. Because this entire thing has been only coming from the clergy. On the ground, of course, there are issues that, cash crop prices, all those issues are there. And compared to other communities, they are fairly well off when it comes to education, when it comes to employment, when it comes to businesses. They are well off. But there are issues that they want to highlight. So, will they vote as a complete bloc is the big question that we need to find out.
Right. Mr. Anand Kochukudi, in that sense, the fact that both these national parties are vying for the community's attention could all, amount to naught at the end of the day, because, if they don't vote in unison as one bloc, then there might not be enough to influence the final outcome.
In Kerala, from 1952, the first general election, the UDF has had an advantage over the LDF, except in 2 elections. That was in 1967 and 2004. Except in these 2 elections, the UDF has always got more seats than the LDF. So last time it was a bit extreme, 19 versus 1. In 2004, it was the other way around. The LDF got 18. The NDA got 1. The UDF got 1. NDA, that was Kerala Congress, not the BJP. But still, in 2024, the BJP has a chance only with Suresh Gopi, that is the actor. Except for Suresh Gopi, there is no chance that BJP will get another seat. That is because Lok Sabha elections are, contested across a huge, the size of the seats are very huge. You need to win you need to cross a certain threshold to start winning seats. That can start in assembly elections, but not so easy in Lok Sabha elections. So even if the UDF loses, say, 5 to 10 seats, suppose their seat tally comes down from 19 to 12, let's say 12. In that case, it will be the LDF which will be winning the rest of the 7 seats or 8 seats. And the BJP, as of today, has only 1 seat where they have a realistic chance of winning, and that is Suresh Gopi if he contests from Thrissur.
Right. The only realistic chance for the BJP to win a seat. Would you agree with that, Varghese? If I were to ask you, from the way things look at this point in time.
If you look at the way Thrissur is, Thrissur again, it's a huge factor over there is that it is not again a place where you have communities that are in dominance. For example, it's not the Hindu community that dominates. There are areas in which the Christians are there, the Muslims are. So it's a very mixed constituency.
Yeah.
Thrissur is something where Suresh Gopi had tried before also, but
Thrissur
yes,
is famous for the Puram festival
so
as well.
he's also been trolled for going ahead and contesting from Thrissur, where he said that Thrissur in the sense I want Thrissur, you give it to me. So he was famous for that, and now also he came onto the stage when Amit Shah was there and Kerala came on the stage and he said I'm ready to contest from Kannur to anywhere that the party says. So there is a chance on his popularity, but I have my doubts if I'll go by the societal divisions that are already there.
Right. Mr. George Kalivaili continues to be with us as well. Let me quickly take this across to him. Mr. George Kalivaili, the problem as far as the Syrian Christian community in Kerala is that it's so splintered that there is the chances of them together voting for any one particular party is minuscule at this stage.
Absolutely right. Majority of the seats, elections will be decided on the next few months, the results in Karnataka, the results in other states, that will definitely have a say in the Kerala politics. And regarding BJP, there is a very little chance. In Thrissur, where Suresh Gopi is trying his best, BJP is trying all the maximum efforts are taken there in Thrissur, but I don't think even now they are able to catch it up. But in Kerala this time, I am sure LDF and UDF will divide the seats again.
If I ask you for a number,
Syrian Catholics,
George Kalivaili, if I ask you for a number, from we have Anand Kochukudi who's told us, the UDF could end up getting 12, with the rest of the 9 being taken by the LDF. If I were to ask you for a number for the upcoming Lok Sabha elections,
it can be 12 to 8.
Would you agree
UDF
with that?
may get 12. UDF can come down to 6 to 8.
He's giving it totally different. He's giving that the LDF might get 12 and the UDF might be getting around 8. Well, I think as of now it's too early to say anything, because right now, though the outreach is being carried out by all the parties concerned, the issue is that for the BJP, even if they increase the vote share, they have achieved something in Kerala, because if they are able to increase the vote share, that means their outreach program has found fruit, and they have to only build from there, so even though they might be winning a seat.
Right. And we're all discussing the upcoming Lok Sabha elections, but the fact of the matter is that there is the state assembly elections, which is also under the purview of both the parties concerned. The BJP would like to have a great showing in the state elections as well, Varghese, isn't it?
BJP has been trying to have some kind of an effort in the state elections. They had won only once, that is in Nemam, and of course in the last elections they did lose out over there. And in Trivandrum also they have been trying to get to the Christian votes, and over there of course the Latin Catholics, the Malankara Catholics as well as the Pentecostal churches hold sway over it. Shashi Tharoor is in touch with all of them. Shashi Tharoor has been the MP from Trivandrum. He's been in touch with all of them, and he ensures that he visits all their functions. So he has been keeping the negotiations going on with a very important constituent group in Trivandrum. So, but as George was in fact saying, or even the other guest was in fact saying, there seems to be a lack of liaising happening,
right?
And that is going to hurt the Congress, and this is too little, and it could be too late also.
Too late.
Because the community is yet to make any kind of switch as we
expected. Any kind of emphatic switch to one side.
Has not yet that's
yet to happen, but it could all be too little too late. And with that, I'm afraid we've completely run out of time here on this particular discussion. Thank you, Varghese, for joining us. Thank you so much for watching. Keep it with News 9.